Hey guys, welcome back to your friendly neighborhood bee, and today we are gonna get right into it from r/slash am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for kicking my best friend out after she called my husband a charity project? I, 29 female, hosted a small dinner party last night for 5 of my closest friends. My husband, Danny, 31 male, is honestly the hardest working person I know. He is currently a teacher, but he is also finishing his master's in educational leadership because he wants to eventually become a principal. We need more people in that field. Congratulations. Between his actual job and his night classes, he is exhausted, but he still manages to do half the chores and never misses a chance to make me feel loved. The issue, according to some people, is that I work in tech and make about triple what he does. I don't see the issue, but alright. It has never been an issue for us. We are a team. During dinner, Danny was being his usual self, helping me serve the food, making everyone laugh, and being a generally great host. About halfway through the night, he apologized and said he had to go to our home office to finish a major paper that was due at midnight. Everyone was supportive, except for Maya, 30 female. Maya has been my friend since college. She has always been a bit of a status seeker. Once Danny left the room, Maya took a long sip of her wine and said she didn't know how I do it. She told the table she would be bored if her man had to go study for a teacher's salary while she paid for the steak everyone was eating. The table went dead silent. I told her that Danny works incredibly hard and his career is about making an impact, not just a paycheck. Maya rolled her eyes and told me to come on because we're all friends here. She said I'm 29 and successful and that I'm basically carrying him. She told me that I'm in my prime and should be with someone who can actually match my tax bracket, not someone I have to bankroll like a charity project. She said I deserve a power couple life, not a stressed out student life. Uh-huh. I felt my blood boil. I didn't yell, but I told her very clearly that she was being incredibly disrespectful to both of us. I told her that Danny is the most supportive partner I've ever had, and his goals involve more than just a bank balance. She tried to laugh it off and said she was just looking out for me because money is the number one cause of divorce. I had enough. I stood up, took her plate, and told her she needed to leave. She looked shocked and said I was being dramatic over a little honesty. Mm. My other friends were awkward and didn't really say anything, but Maya kept going, saying I was choosing a mediocre man over a decade of friendship. I walked her to the door and shut it behind her. Since then, Maya has been texting our group chat saying I have changed and that she's worried I'm defensive because I know she's right. No. A couple of my friends messaged me privately saying that while Maya was out of line, kicking her out was extreme and made the whole night a disaster for everyone else. I don't think I'm the jerk for defending my husband in my own home, but the extreme comments from my other friends are starting to get to me. Am I the jerk for booting her out and potentially ending the friendship over this? Are you the only one in your friend group who's married? That's a genuine question. Are you the only one in your friend group who's married? Because the fact that they're trying to make this quote unquote point is telling, just a little bit. Because they don't seem to understand that he's your husband. Of course, he's important, a little bit more important than someone who's insulting him in his home. No, absolutely not. She sounds jealous. She sounds very jealous. No, absolutely not. And your husband sounds like a good man. He's a good man. You're not the jerk. And if you enjoy stories like this and like listening to the sound of my voice, I post every day, so make sure to like and subscribe. Next victim. Am I the butthole for telling my sister-in-law I won't be going out to eat with her family again if her husband and youngest are going too? Let me start off with saying I have a great relationship with my sister-in-law and her older kids, who are 18 and 16. I thought that I had a great relationship with her husband, who's 46, and her youngest, 13, until last night's dinner. We went to a nicer Italian restaurant, and I was completely embarrassed and furious with the way they acted. The husband was complaining about everything, from where we had to park, what we had to wait when we had a reservation, which he made us late for, by the way, by taking his sweet time getting ready, to the prices and the menu options. You don't look at the prices and menu options before you go to the restaurant? Is that just me? I guess I'm the weird one. We get appetizers enough for everyone to have at least 2 of each thing. He grabs half of all of them because he couldn't wait to eat, and then complains about whatever he can with the food. The 13-year-old is wearing pajama pants and a torn up hoodie because Dad said it was fine. It wasn't, but they still sat us. Waiter comes to take our order. Husband orders some crazy modified pizza and complained when they charged accordingly. Yeah, some places like to upcharge for cheese or whatever. 13-year-old couldn't order from themselves. I don't know why, but whatever. Well, to be fair to the 13-year-old in that point, sometimes they can't at that age. Even though they are 13, sometimes there are issues and they can't do that for themselves. Continuing. Me and sister-in-law have both worked in restaurants for years, and this is the part that made me want to leave. Husband has both earbuds in, watching anime at the table, and shakes his empty Mountain Dew glass at the waiter, then laughs about how he didn't even have to say anything to get a refill. Check comes, and one of the appetizers I was paying for was on their bill. Easy fix, but the husband yells, "How hard is it to do it the right time?" He says first the right time? Okay. That's when I almost lost it and just followed the waiter to the POS system and paid for me and the eldest 2 food, said goodbye to the sister-in-law and the eldest 2, and left. She later called me and asked if they did something wrong, so I laid it out about how embarrassing her and the youngest were. I was told that no one else has a problem with them. And then I get a call from mother-in-law thanking me for being the only other person to at least call out the husband for his BS. So am I the butthole, or was I right to be embarrassed and upset? I mean, I'd be upset too, especially if someone's watching a show at the table. What are you, 2 and you're an iPad kid? You need your Bluey and your Cocomelon? Like what is this? Why? Why are we shaking the glass at the waiter? That's like snapping at them. Why are we doing this? Does he not know how to human? Do you need a lesson on humaning? I'd be upset too. You're not the butthole. Next victim. Am I the butthole for blocking my boyfriend's mom and considering ending my relationship over it? Hi everyone. Hello. I, 22 female, have been with my boyfriend, 23 male, for almost a year and a half. Overall, our relationship is strong and healthy. The only ongoing issue has been his mom, 46 female, and it's starting to seriously affect me. Over the last 8 months, there have been multiple incidences where she made comments about my body and my relationship in ways that felt disrespectful. Neither of those are her business, but she has ignored me in group settings, talked about me behind my back with family members, and at one point wrongfully accused me of stealing from her. Did she apologize? I've always treated her politely and tried to build a relationship with her, but I'm usually met with snarky comments or cold behavior. Fascinating. My boyfriend is aware of everything and has tried to talk to her. Each time she either says she didn't realize what she was doing, claims it was unintentional, or denies it altogether. It feels like she's playing dumb or shifts the narrative so nothing actually gets resolved. I haven't confronted her directly because I've been trying to let my boyfriend handle it since it's his mom. We approach conflict very differently, and I didn't want to overstep or create more tension by inserting myself into the dynamic. I thought it would be more respectful and productive for him to address it. But at this point, that approach doesn't seem to be working. Recently, I found out she was sending screenshots of my social media stories to other people and asking about me. That is so odd. Why? For what purpose? What is the end goal of this? Okay. That really crossed a line for me. Instead of confronting her, I chose to block her to protect my peace and create some distance. Well, yeah, she doesn't have any screenshots anymore. She called my boyfriend asking why I blocked her. How do you know? It's social media. When he explained it was likely because she had been sending my stories around and talking about me, she denied knowing what he meant until he brought up specific names and situations. Then she said, "Well, I didn't know they would tell her." Oh my god, and that makes it okay? This whole situation has started to affect me physically. I've been having intense anxiety over it to the point where I genuinely think I may have developed an ulcer from stress. Oh my god. I feel constantly on edge. I've tried explaining to my boyfriend how much this is impacting me, but he keeps saying it's hard for him to set boundaries with his mom and that it's not easy. Nope. Okay. At this point, though, it feels like that doesn't even matter anymore because nothing is changing. Hmm. Okay. What scares me is that this is starting to push me towards a decision I don't want to have to make, which is potentially ending the relationship if things don't improve. I love him and don't want to lose what we have, but I also don't think I can sustain this long term if I continue to feel disrespected and unsupported. So, am I the butthole for blocking her and feeling like I may have to walk away if this continues? Am I overreacting, or is this a reasonable boundary to have? It's, I would have this boundary too. This is a deep issue. And someone who, on both ends of your boyfriend and your mom, neither one of them want to cut that umbilical cord, so to speak, and letting this relationship continue further on. Because after boyfriend and girlfriend, what comes next? Marriage, kids, if that's in the cards for you, if you want to. I Is this someone that you can see yourself being in a long-term relationship with? You guys have been together for almost 2 years. That's a chunk of time, and you're in your early 20s. Is this something that you want to continue? Do you want to be in a relationship with someone such as this? Someone who says, "Oh yeah, babe, I'll got it. I'll defend you, blah blah blah," but in the same breath will say, "It's hard to maintain boundaries with my mom. It's hard to do this. It's really hard for me. It's hard on me to make sure that you are okay." That's something that you need to truly think about. Think Truly think about this. I'm not going to tell you to end your relationship because that's not my place to say, "Hey, end your relationship," unless someone's being like genuinely abused. But this is not a situation that I personally would stay in. I think you have a lot of thinking to do. I wouldn't call you a butthole if you were to leave him because you can end a relationship for any reason or for no reason. I wouldn't call you a butthole if you were to leave him for this reason, though. I wouldn't at all. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys!